abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act, well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting. So wanna be with you, I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. How it hurts to see you smile, like a dagger in me. She just seems so juvenile. I just want it to be me. I wanna set your world on fire. Oh, you're so sure I'll stick around. Oh, my heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting. So wanna be with you, I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. Oh, even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting. So wanna be with you, I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be.
Hey everybody, I'm Rick Adkins, and I am your teacher for cheap thrills and pro results from color pencils. I hope you're having fun with the summit, and if you haven't watched my class, this is the card. If I can get it on screen. I know, it's cute, right? Anyway, I'm from Alabama, as you can probably tell from the accent. Anyway, let's see. I did see a question from Suzette earlier because I'm in the comments also watching y'all. So I got into card making. This is an interesting story. I have a Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree in printmaking, and I have always drawn. My dad used to say because I would lay on the floor and draw little stick men, and my dad was like, "You need to quit drawing stick men." I'm like, "I'm going to use this one day. Just wait." I've always wanted an art degree, so I got my art degree late in life. I was a hairdresser for 25, 29 years, something like that. Long time to be dealing with people in their hair. Anyway, so I went to school, got my art degree, and what drew me to coloring was I love to color. It's so pretty. I believe that life is all about some color. So that's how I really got into it. I started making cards because I was doing art shows and needed a lower price point item. So I had watched some card making videos, and I was like, I can do this. I can make these. So I jumped in, started making them, and never looked back. It is very addictive, and I'm sure y'all know that. So good morning, everybody. Hope y'all having a wonderful time. I'm going to butcher your name, and I'm sorry. Indy, I do not use Gambasol for blending. I just do not use it. I just color and just layer the color up. If I do use anything for blending, I will use a um, zero colorless blender marker. I will use that. You recommend which pencils to use as a beginner? Whichever you can afford. Crayola, the 120 set is fabulous. It's really inexpensive. You could use the 8 set. If you check out my freebie, there is information on how to get more. Actually, I think it's in the class too. I talk about how you can get more colors from the less pencils you have by glazing and everything. But whatever you want. I mean, there are some that's going to be better than others. I like the Crayola. I did just get the Colorista markers from Spectrum Noir. They're pretty good. I haven't played around with them yet. Castle Arts are really good. And let's see, what else did I get? I got a new set from Artistico that was really inexpensive on Amazon that was really good. But really, whatever you can afford. And you don't have to buy a whole set. You can just get a few and then start building up your stash. That's what I did with my Prismacolors. I bought a few here, bought a few there. So that would be my advice. Just get what you can afford. My favorite types of color pencils, Debbie. And do you use watercolor pencils and blender pens? Yes, I do. I love my watercolor pencils and blender pens. I love my Tombow markers too. My favorite colored pencils. Are we talking expensive or are we talking cheap? If we're talking cheap, I'm probably in love with these Artistico right now. They are, at least I think that's the name of them. They have a big line on the front. That's all I remember. A white line. And it's a pink box. Those are really cool. I like those, and I really love my Faber-Castells. Of course, that goes back to my art days. I always loved Faber-Castell stuff. So, and I'm looking down at the comments to see what y'all are saying. Susan, do you prefer to keep your color pencils with a super sharp tip or well used? I like a sharp tip, and I use the Jarlink pencil sharpener. That's my favorite. I have the Botish, however you say that. I don't know. It's BOTCH pencil sharpener over there. It was recommended by another color pencil artist, and it does good, but I like my Jarlink. It gives a nice sharp point, and I have that listed on the supply list. I actually listed both of them, so I'm probably butchering the name. So let's say I understand what you mean about glazing. All right, you don't understand what I mean about glazing. All that means is it's super simple. When you lay down one color, say you lay down a yellow because you're going to start with your lightest color. Lay down the yellow, and then you want a green, so you're going the opposite. The complementary color of green is blue, so we're going to lay down blue over top of that, just lightly. You're just going light, and I'm a hand talker, y'all. Sorry. So you're going to color over that yellow with the blue, and you're going to get a green. That's glazing. That's all glazing is. It's just a fancy term for layering colors over each other. That's all it is. I know we used big old terms. What are your thoughts on Copic chows? I like them. I just can't afford them. I'm cheap. I spent too much money on art supplies. I have very few. The only Copic chows that I have are the skin tones. Now, I do have some of the other Copic markers, but I'm cheap. I would prefer to spend my money on paper because I'm a paper whore. I'm an admitted paper whore. I'm sorry. And I said it. It's okay. And I'm a stamp whore. I love some stamps. But I do like Copics. They're good. I play around with them. I actually am into Oahu markers right now because they're budget friendly and they cheap. So I use those a lot. And I'm still learning alcohol markers. Which Tombows are my favorites? Oh gosh, I like them all. As long as I can color, I like them. I don't know, just pretty colors is all I pick for my Tombows. I actually have a big old bucket full of them right here. So I just like color. It doesn't matter what color they are. Kristen, are there different positions for holding pencils or markers to get a lighter touch? Yes. And I talk about that in the class. You want to actually hold your pencil. If you want a lighter touch, you hold your pencil back a little further. That way it gives you less pressure on your pencil. You come down a little bit, it gives you a little bit more pressure, and you come heavy pressure at the tip. So yes, you can control the amount of pressure with the pencil by where you hold it. Excuse me, I learned that in art school. Susan, do you tend to color lightly or push harder on the pencil to leave no white gaps on the paper? I start out lightly, and I start layering up my colors. And then when I start to get less into the paper, like you can still see white in the paper, especially in the background here, or the little mouse's head in the ears, you can still see white in that. That's because I use lighter pressure and left some of the white for highlights. Always, you can leave white for highlights in your coloring. So I hope I answered that question right. But that's how if I can get it down the screen. This is the hardest part, is getting it down the screen, knowing where the dang little camera is. But you can see how I left some of the tooth of the paper showing. And it really depends on what paper you use. Some paper's going to have a lot more texture, so you're going to have a lot more tooth to feel. I like a smooth paper. I believe this is hammer mill paper because it's good for blending. Also, I have a Bristol vellum is good for color pencils. It gives you a good, it has a little bit of tooth, holds the pencil, and you can fill in a little bit more. So it kind of depends on what you like. I say experiment with stuff. That's my advice. Let's see, Janet, have you tried the Oahu? Yes, I have. I have the 320 set and just bought the skin tone set just so I could have all the colors. I like the Oahu markers. They do take a little bit of getting used to. The colors are not what you think. I did contact the company when I got them because I wanted to know their coloring system, how they did it. It did start out as and this is from them, it started out as the same thing as Copic, where you had the color family, the value, and whatever the other thing is on Copic. It's too much to remember. But they switched to manufacturers. They changed stuff. That's how they got them cheap. So they are aware of that, and they're fixing that issue. But my advice is to always swatch them out. That's what I did. Actually, I took them in the... and you can take them in the... make a little swatch chart. I don't have mine out here. I thought I did. And that way you can see the colors a lot better. Always swatch your stuff, because what it was on the pencil or the marker top is not going to be the same as the lid half the time. It's much easier to swatch them out. Let's see, Kristen, how do you select your color palette for a project? That's a very good question, and it really depends. Sometimes I will use the color cube because it's great for palettes. I will find stuff online that I'm interested in, and I will use plain old, if I can find it, pattern paper. I will find my pattern paper and pick out the designs that I want to use and pick colors from that to match my pencils and stuff. That's how I pick my color palettes 9 out of 10 times. Tammy Bunker, what paper do you use most? It's a toss-up. Excuse me. Let's see. What do I use most? Probably, depending on what I'm coloring with, I use Bristol Smooth for a lot of my water-based markers. I use alcohol marker paper for my alcohol markers. For my coloring, I like the color pencils. I like this Spring Hill, and I think it's 110-pound paper, because it's not as thick as you think, and you can run it through your printer, most of them. So that's probably why I use that one the most. It's good for color pencils. But I also like the color pencil paper from Strathmore. and I get to. And Bristol Vellum. Those are my probably top picks for color pencil papers. Bristol Vellum, Strathmore, color pencil paper, and just plain old cardstock. Nice smooth cardstock. What type of erasers do you use, Debbie? Depends on the project. You can never go wrong with a good old white pearl or pink pearl eraser. Those are great. Kneaded erasers are very good. Also, they just lift up a little bit of color. But 9 out of 10 times, if I use an eraser, it's probably that. And it's right on my desk. I also like the pink pearls because I use those in art school. That's what I learned on how to erase stuff with. That's probably why I still use them. Sue, do you ever use watercolor pencils? Yes, I do. I love my watercolor pencils. I actually have a few set of those. I am a product junkie, y'all. I have a problem. Hi, my name's Rick. I'm a product junkie. I have a problem. I love my crafting and art supplies. Let's see. Watercolor pencils. I like the Castle Arts are really good. Derwent is probably my favorite. I use those all the time. And that's probably about it. That's probably my like 2 go-tos. All right, next question, Aaron. Sorry. All right, Victoria, does the fading of the alcohol markers bother you, and do you plan on the fade over time? I don't worry about that. It's not a archival thing. So, and okay, let's get into this. Archival actually means that a painting or artwork will be around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Cards are not going to be around that long. People are going to toss them most of the time. So I don't worry about that. And I see a fuzzy thing flying through the air on the camera. So as Rick goes crazy on camera. So no, I don't worry about fading. All right, let's see. What weight paper do you use, Joyce? Depends on my project. If I'm watercoloring, it's no less than 140 pounds. If I'm coloring, I usually stick to my cardstock weights. And I just happen to have most of this here, sitting here. Let's see, watercolors 140, 300 for like fine art stuff. The marker paper is just Strathmore marker paper. So whatever that comes in, I think it's 50 pounds. But that's different medium. Cardstock ranges from anything from 65 pounds for mats all the way up to 110 for card bases, 120 for card bases. It just varies. Coloring wise, I probably don't go any less than 80 pounds on cardstock. All right, Carrie Ann, what's your favorite medium to use? That's a trick question, girl. I really don't have a favorite. It kind of depends on my mood. I might be I'm really into alcohol markers this week. So, but yesterday I sat down in the craft room and I did Tombow markers because I was playing. So I wanted to play. It kind of depends on my mood. I don't really have a favorite. I just kind of jump back and forth. Like last month, I was really into watercoloring and watercolor pencil stuff. So this month, I'm into alcohol markers really well. I just cycle around. I have so much stuff I got to cycle it around. I say pick what you love and go with it though. But sometimes you just got to play. See, Canyon Mom 1. You said you learned the pencil technique in art school. Where did you go? I went to a small college in Jacksonville, Alabama called Jacksonville State. That's where I finished out my degree. It's known for its teaching, is what it was really started out to be, and then it's big into nursing. But it has a really good art department. And it was only like 20 minutes away from my house. So that's where I went. Susan, as a product junkie, how do you organize your stash? Girl, I'm not very good at I love an organized craft room, but if you could see below here, you would understand it's not that organized. I do try. Like I did just put my cardstocks in rainbow order. I have my inks in front of me in rainbow order. And those my old Stampin' Up inks, they're up there in color family order or some rainbow order. I don't even remember how they're up there. I try to organize my stamps by company. And I have my coloring just in different containers. So I see we are running out of time and we are going to be pushed off screen. So I hope y'all are having a great time in the summit. And I am so happy y'all are here. I hope y'all find help in the class. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave them and I'll come back in a little while and answer your questions back in the comment. All right. Thanks, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful day.